the reality? What's the reality?
Hi everyone, it's me, Giannina.
And me, Blake, and we are your guest hosts while AD is out on maternity leave. So we're so excited to be here for another episode of What's the Reality?
And today, someone very special from our Love is Blind family is here. Colleen Reed from season 3 is joining us today. I'm so excited to have you here.
Yay!
And this is actually her first time talking about her divorce from Matt and how she is doing today. And if you're not watching, she is looking pretty good.
She looks great. You're glowing, Colleen. You're glowing. Seriously, though.
So we're so happy to have her here. So let's welcome Colleen to What's the Reality.
Yay!
Thanks for coming out.
Thank you so much for having me. I love you guys. You guys are like an inspiration, power couple, everything. I like adore you. I adore your family. So thank you so much for talking with me today.
No, thank you. Honestly.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming. I know that there's a lot going on and just want to say first and foremost, I don't know where you are in your journey just quite yet. We'll get into that in a second. But from a third party who has been always rooting for you and seeing you, you are just glowing different.
You really are.
So
thanks,
I just want to say
guys.
I'm proud of you with whatever you're doing. And we'll see where you are.
I would say just recently, I remember like you popped up on my Instagram and I sent it to Gina. I was like, Colleen looks good. I was literally like, Colleen, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like that's Colleen. Like she looks amazing. Like, yeah. So.
Oh my gosh, stop. I'm not going to be able to walk through a door. My head is going to be so big.
No, for real. But how are you doing? How are you feeling? Like she said, I know there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
How
So
are you doing?
today I'm doing great. I am good. It's a roller coaster of a journey. There's always like ups and downs. We'll get into it, but there was definitely a down and then there was a high and then it's literally a roller coaster. So right now I'm doing good. I'm in like a healthy mindset. I'm feeling good in my life right now. So I'm okay.
It's good.
Yeah.
Glad to hear that. Glad to hear that.
Because you announced that you were splitting from Matt in May.
Yeah. Early May, end of April. So like springtime.
Right.
So we announced and then we actually have been not together since November of last year. So it's been about a year since we've been, I say separated, broken up. But we didn't announce until springtime. So I was dealing through the process of like the breakup for several months before I brought it to the public.
That's so smart.
Yeah, I think that's
honestly,
the way
it's
to
really
do it.
I am
healthy.
so glad that we did that. And I would say that like he would agree with that as well.
Was it your idea?
We both, it was kind of like logistics in terms of like the house, because we lived together for those several months when we were separated. So we just didn't want to like deal with all of that while we were dealing with our own like chaos and sadness and heartbreak. I didn't even want to have that like in my eyesight. So yeah, we both kind of agreed upon like, let's not say anything until we are not living together. And so the day that I left, the day I moved out, was the day that we announced.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How did that feel?
So that day was probably the hardest day of my life, because it was so, so sad. I would say that he would agree with that as well. Because we weren't going to see each other anymore. We weren't going to, like, even though we were separated for those several months, we still saw each other. And so it was like kind of like that finality of it, that realization that we really are not together anymore. We're not going to be together anymore. So I was dealing with moving out and I was also leaving for Italy the next day. And then we were announcing and then breaking up. So it was like a lot. So I was just kind of like running around with my head cut off basically. And then when we said goodbye to each other, me personally, sobbing, just like sobbing. I'm not going to get emotional thinking about it. It was just really, really sad and really, really hard. And it was real. Like, I just want to like scream that to the mountaintops to these, to many people who say that it's
Let them know.
not real.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you want to pay for my therapy bill? Because like, it was really heartbreaking, like giving him that final hug and saying goodbye.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I drove away and I knew that I was making the right decision. And I know that he was making the right decision. But yeah, we did it and I'm okay now.
Yeah.
But for those few hours that we were saying goodbye to each other, oh my God, it was like the hardest thing ever. And sometimes those breakups can be almost just as bad as like if cheating were to happen, or like, you know, there's a lot of tension between. It's so hard for two people to come together and be like, this is not working. We can't be together and we need to separate. And like that is the hardest decision to make. And then like it's so hard when you're actually doing it.
Yeah. I did completely agree. I think sometimes when there's not one single reason, it's just like, you just know, that's almost harder when it comes to a breakup.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's just nothing you can
'Cause
like point
there
to or
have been-
blame almost,
yeah,
right?
and there have been so many times where we were almost there. We would be like, no, let's keep working on it, and we would still keep working on it. And it's picking the point where it's like, no, we can't work on it anymore. We need to not be together. It's just the right decision.
And to your point, you guys met on season 3, Love is Blind. So you've been together now 4 years?
It was a little under 4 years. So I
Little
say
under
4
4
years.
years.
Yeah.
So like you said, like it was real.
It was.
Yeah, right? I mean, it's because a lot of people don't understand that. They think it is just a show and we're just characters.
Yeah.
But that's not the case.
No, I was 24 when I got married, and then I just turned 30. So half of my 20s was with him. So it's.
But you guys mature.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So
I
much
didn't
in
realize
that
you were 24.
relationship.
I was a baby.
Yeah.
What made
were a
you
baby.
sign up for it?
You know, I would say I'm a lover girl, one.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest lover girl, and I still am the biggest lover girl. I'm very
That's
hopeful
good.
Yeah, that's nice.
for romance and love and
Yeah.
everything. So I'm a big lover girl, and also being in Dallas, when you look around, everyone is married, everyone has children.
That
It's-
Southern values.
That is, yeah. And at the time, my friends weren't married, but a lot were on their way to engagements. And so I would look around, I'd be like, I need to do that. I need to follow. I need to find my person. And I'm so optimistic about love and I want love. And so when this opportunity came, I was like, what's different between going on a show that is location based than me going on Hinge? Like,
I say the same thing.
What's different?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, marriage is on
Right.
the, you know.
But it's like a
on the
dating
line.
app 2.0.
Yes.
I never thought about that.
It's location based, you know, and you're still talking about your different values and everything. And so I loved the idea of it, and I was optimistic about marriage. Did I actually think I was going to walk away married?
Hell
No.
no,
Right.
right?
No. I remember when I got engaged and I was talking to my family about it, and they're like, do you think? And I was like, I'm 50-50, but like I'm more on the no side than the yes side. And then as we progressed and through the process, and I was just like, both of us were like, let's just do it. Like, let's just say yes to each other in this moment. And we did, but I never in a million years thought I would actually get married.
Right.
But I love the idea of it. I was open to it. I just didn't think it was in my cards.
to like
actually say
find
yes.
someone in this
Yes.
situation. So you guys agreed before you guys were at the altar. Yes, we're saying yes.
No.
Oh.
Yes. So we were at Applebee's or Chili's, Applebee's, whatever, the night prior with both of our families, and we were flipping a coin.
What?
Get out of here.
Yes, we were flipping a coin. We're saying, okay, heads we say yes, tails we say no.
No, fate.
Yes, we just like kept flipping a coin, and I would say like 2 out of 3 times, you know. And I truly did not know what to do.
Okay.
And he didn't know what to do, and I can't remember if I feel like that day was such a blur. I don't know if you felt that way too, but I can't remember if we spoke that morning on the phone, but he was just like, I'll see you at the altar. And I was like, I'll see you at the altar.
What?
And it
This
was
show's crazy.
Yeah. No, it's
You could
insane.
never.
It's actually crazy.
Yeah. And they asked him and he said yes. And I was like, okay, like, sure, let's do it. Yeah.
So would you say you had like a positive experience on Love is
Oh my
Blind?
gosh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I had a blast on Love is Blind.
Yeah, you won.
I got it. I won the prize.
Yeah.
But no, coming from also like a dance and theater experience, I enjoyed, you know, the whole production side of it. But I also, aside from that, I love talking to people. I love getting to know different people. The friendships that I got from it, I'm still best friends with the girls. You know, I loved literally for 2 weeks not doing anything but sitting and talking. Like it was fun. It was so fun. And then post engagements, it was definitely more of a struggle because I mean, for our journey, it was, you guys all watched, it was up and down. But I had a blast like with my journey, and I don't regret one thing at all. Not one thing.
That's amazing.
That's really
Yeah.
good to hear, honestly. And when you look back at like your experience on Love is Blind, your journey, as you called it, kind of back to those early moments, those beginnings with Matt, was there anything that really stood out to you, you know, with that and your relationship with Matt that really stood out to you and you were like, this is it?
So, since day one, he was my number one, which is crazy because you don't see that.
That's really special.
Yeah, I want people to go back and like show I remember this specifically of after all the days, and someone asked me like, who's your number one? And I go, Matt.
Oh, wow.
And I just remember that moment.
Yeah.
We just always clicked, especially in the pods. We were pretty much on the same page for every single thing. And before that, I had never experienced that with somebody. We were always like on the same page. We had the same humor. We talked about everything and anything under the sun. And yeah, it just clicked. It just felt right. And I could be, I mean, I don't know if you remember, but the pod sessions would be so long towards the end. We're talking several hours.
Right.
And sometimes I can get a little awkward and then I'm like, okay, the conversation is done. But with him, it was so different. It would just like kept flowing, and we would always have different things to talk about and relate upon. And it did get deep, and he brought that vulnerable side out of me. So it just clicked.
Right.
It just felt right.
Would you say that when things were rough in your marriage, you know, years afterward, do you think you clung to those moments? Did you go back to that? Is that what kept you hopeful?
Yeah. I would say, though, we really didn't base everything off post Love is Blind. We really wouldn't talk much about that journey or that experience. Everything that post Love is Blind, what really made us like fall deeper in love with each other was post. Like the way that we have our own language, like the way that we talk to each other is a completely different language. I would see him go through these like really hard times. I would see him get vulnerable too, where he wouldn't necessarily get as vulnerable on the show. So I would see like almost a completely different side. And I felt in love with him even more post the show. But then when things would go up and down, I would say we were always up and down. And that's since day one. And that's the one thing that ultimately like, you know, led to our breakup, is that it was never consistently high. It was always these high highs, but never consistent. And so I would always cling back to like how we were with each other when we are good, and not, you know, I wouldn't look at it big picture, if that makes sense.
Well, I've experienced something similar where it's just like, we're gonna get on the same page. Like we're going to, because we relate on so many different levels. Like there's no way. Like maybe if, you know, we move in together, which you guys eventually did, maybe then we'll get on the same page. How is that? Because you guys didn't live.
No. Yeah, so we didn't live
after.
together until I think like a year and a half after we got married, which is so strange. I know.
Well, not to cut you off, but I do think when you meet someone on a reality TV show and then you go into being engaged, like The Bachelor, being married, like Love is Blind, you're still dating.
Yeah.
You're still learning that person.
Yeah.
So I didn't think that it was
No,
weird.
I really, for some reason, marriage was like, yes, but moving in together, whoa. Like, chill out.
Too far.
I'll get the ring. But
So I had lived, when I went on the show, I lived with 2 other girls at the time. So I had not even lived by myself yet. So I just, I thought, and he would say as well, what's the rush? Like we said yes to each other. Like, let's just take a beat and let's both mature ourselves, and then we'll come together and live together. When we moved in together, it was a relatively smooth, it was honestly fine because he was always at my place. I was always at his. We
Right.
rarely did sleep apart. So it was just, we would sometimes go to our separate places and change and get our stuff and then come back to each other, or after a long day of work, just stay separately. So it really, in terms of moving in, it wasn't a hard thing to do.
do you think you would do that again, or are you ready for like your next relationship being like, I need to live with you. I need to know how you.
I definitely want to
learn.
live with you before I get married to you. I would say
That
let's
was
do
it.
that.
Sorry.
Let's do that first.
The
Yeah.
steps. Yeah.
I just moved into my new place by myself, and this is my first time, I would say, truly living by myself. So I'm like getting used to this era of mine.
Yeah.
And then, hopefully down the line, when I am in a relationship, take it slow, move in, and then, then get married.
And
You're
I
gonna
know
be like, don't come into my space.
No,
yet.
please.
Yes, this is my
Please.
space.
Yeah, chill
Tell you
out.
what, you're gonna love living by yourself.
No, but I
Not that I
will.
love living with you.
Yeah.
I will say the first like couple weeks though was hard
Really.
because I would just walk around in circles and like do the dishes and then like walk around in circles and then clean more and like organize more. I was like, who do I talk to? What do I do? Because usually even when we were broken up but still lived together, we were very cordial the entire time. So we would still talk and there was always like someone home. Like now it's, or in the beginning, it was hard to get used to that silence.
Right.
For sure.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about your ups and downs throughout the show, and I know it came up on the show as well. And Matt had some trust issues. Did that play any part in kind of where you are?
Yeah. He never said. We never talked about that. If it was never trust issues. I would say he probably needed to deal with some of that stuff before getting into a serious relationship because it would be taken out on me. He would say no, like he was fine. But it's so weird talking about him now, like, because I'm not protecting him, but
Yeah.
it's
Well,
hard.
it's
Part of
Yeah.
you held his heart,
Yes.
for so
Yeah.
long, and you still care for him. You
Oh
don't
my gosh,
want
yeah.
him to people to attack. You know how
Yes.
the internet is and everything.
Yeah.
But from your truth, everyone's truth is different and your perspective. But for me, I couldn't go out with my girlfriends. My phone would just blow up, and I'm like, I'm not doing anything.
So honestly, it was quite the opposite.
Okay.
He would be like, go out, go out. I would want him to come out. I would say that is where we would have a lot of issues in terms of like just what we wanted in life or what we valued in life. And I very much value community and friendships and family, and quality time I did not realize how much I value quality time. It is now my like number one love language. And so it wasn't necessarily trust issues. It was just like I wanted him to hang out with me and we just wouldn't hang out.
Don't hang out.
Yeah.
Don't go out.
Yeah.
Be
I was
one
like,
of
come to the
girls.
grocery store
Yeah.
with me. Like,
Yeah.
please.
That is really important.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure. I mean, you are choosing someone to be your life partner. Do life
Yeah.
with me.
Yes, exactly. And come out, not saying like I want to go to the club or anything.
Yeah.
But just like come hang out on a picnic table with a few of our friends and let's be with like a community. I just always have valued community. And I would say that just wasn't probably like a priority of his at the time.
Well, I was going to say, probably because sorry, I don't want to put words on anyone's mouth, but if he didn't want to, it's like, do it anyway.
Yes.
Do it for me.
Do it for me.
I do it for you or hang out with your
Yes,
friends. So
exactly.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is very,
Yeah.
because when you're, again, you want to spend time with your person, you don't want to convince them.
No.
Yeah.
And I always, it's like initiation. Like I would love
For him to initiate.
date night. Even if it's just like, hey, I saw a movie that I really want to watch. Like, let's watch it together. Like that. I don't want to initiate. I want to be courted, even after marriage,
Forever.
She just burned a hole in the side of my head.
I want to be courted and. As a lover girl, like I love a yearn, yearn for me. So, and that was definitely, lacking, especially towards the end of our relationship.
No, I agree. I mean, especially when you're with someone for so long, I've heard you fall in love with someone, the same person, I think 5 times.
Oh my gosh, no way.
Yeah, the first time, then the second time I think is when you get into your first fight, and then you realize they're not perfect, and then when you have a kid, or then when you get married, then when you have a kid, and then 5th when you're super old. So you have to consistently fall in love with somebody.
And you change, right?
Yeah.
You change over the years, so you do fall in love with not a completely different person, obviously, but like a new person.
Yes.
Here and there.
So you want to be courted in
Yes.
each phase.
And we
Listen, I
both
get it.
evolved so much. Like I was a baby as well, and he had changed so much. And so we just weren't like growing together.
Right.
We weren't working on it. So yeah, that's just, crumbled basically.
What was the breaking point?
I would say it got, so I said, roller coaster, high highs, and we stayed at the lows for a long time. And we tried everything. We did everything. We really, any time that we felt like we were almost at that moment of breaking, we would say, no, I still love you. I still, let's still work on this. I can't imagine a life without you. And we would say, okay. And then we work on it, and then low. And so it was low, low, low. And we finally just hit that point where it was, we can't do this anymore. We've tried it so many times and it hasn't been successful. And I've just turned 30 and we do have a clock ticking. And I really, really, I want 4 kids. Right?
Yeah.
I want a big family, but I will not have kids with you until I know I am absolutely in love with you. I'll freeze my eggs. I'll be okay, but I am not going to have a kid with you until I truly love you. I want to, having a kid in the relationship already adds so much stress. If we're not madly in love with each other, no, we can't. And so I'm getting to this point where I want to have a family, but it's not working with him. And I would say the same, he would probably thought the same as well. And we just looked at each other on November 16th and we were like, we literally can't do this anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
November 16th.
And so about a year ago.
Yeah.
So just kind of like a moment where you both just knew kind of.
Yeah,
like
it was
this
really, really
done.
low. And it was another emotional conversation similar to us saying goodbye to each other, but we both were emotional and being like, we can't, we can't move on.
Can you talk a little bit about what the most difficult moment of that date where you were just saying goodbye?
It was us officially, giving each other a hug, not kissing, but just giving each other a hug and embracing each other and knowing that as soon as we let go, we're letting go. And
That's deep.
I'm going to
Wow.
no, I'm not going to get sad.
That's okay.
But
I can get sad.
yeah, just knowing that as soon as, ew, gross. I hate being emotional, especially in glam. But yeah, officially, as soon as you let go, I'm going to turn around, I'm going to get in my car, and I'm not going to hug you again. So yeah, that was for sure that, knowing that you're literally an example of letting go. A physical example of letting it go.
Like a physical act of letting go.
Did you feel the weight come off?
No, not really in that moment. It was just so sad. It was so, maybe eventually as, the day or the night went on, yeah, for sure. But in that moment, no, it was just, I just kept thinking I can't believe I'm not going to hug him again. I can't believe I'm not going to be his best friend or ever again. So yeah, it was just, it wasn't a relief in that moment. It took a few hours for me to be oh, okay, we're good. Let me go to bed and I'll be, even the next morning, I still felt sad. Well, obviously, but still felt that weight of sadness. So it took a few days for sure to be I'm okay.
Well, I think that says a lot about your relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead
Even
of
with all the highs and lows, I still was deeply in love with this person. So yeah, and I also I hate change. I really don't like change. And so yeah, I just kept thinking about that when we were saying goodbye to each other. It's I can't believe as soon as I get in the car, it's going to be different from here on out.
And knowing that this eventually will be public, right? And navigating that, what's something that you wish people knew about your relationship? Is that something that you want them to walk away with? Fight until the bitter end, and if you don't, mature and move on. What is something that you want people to walk away from?
I don't know, because I don't know if you should fight until the bitter end. It's so emotionally draining. I just think having continuous conversations with your partner, really, honestly, is being on the same page and saying can we do this? Can we keep going? I don't know what the answer is. For us, you know, I don't regret anything. But I don't know if that's the right decision to keep fighting and, you know, until you literally can't do it anymore. But for us, like, I'm glad that we fought until we could. And I'm glad that we decided to end things when we did.
Yeah. No, I think that's great. And also, your future kids are gonna really, really thank you for that.
Really,
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
be really grateful
Yeah.
for the healthy home, and then once that all comes together, you're like, yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I just want complete and utter happiness.
Exactly.
And I just wasn't getting that with Matt.
And I think it says a lot about you that you did fight to the bitter end. Like you didn't give up. You know what I mean? You did as much as you
No.
could. You both did, right? You
Yeah.
just, you
I
both
guess
did.
that's definitely what I would want the audience to know is that, well, one, it wasn't fake. It was 110% real, but we really tried. Like, we really did anything and everything possible to make it work. And at the end of the day, sometimes like two people just aren't meant for each other, and we just weren't meant for each other.
So where are you now? How's the divorce been? The process? What are you up to?
So as soon as I said goodbye to him, I got on a plane to Italy, and I want to move to Italy because that place cured me. I had so much fun in Italy and just really, you know, traveled a ton in the summertime. And then now I'm not dating seriously at all. I'm window shopping, you know, test tasting, doing some returns, you know, I'm doing
Yeah.
I love those metaphors all in
Yes.
one. Those are great.
but nothing serious right now. I'm not on the apps. I'm just like kind of taking it slow because I'm still very much in like the process of recovering from everything. And I don't want to jump into something too soon. So I'm just living my best life, focusing on myself, seeing what I want, what I don't want, because now I know what I don't want and what I want. But yeah, definitely having fun shopping.
Yeah.
That's so
I can
fun.
tell from the metaphors. You want to go shopping together?
Yeah.
Give me the credit card, Blake.
Yeah. Exactly.
We're going to do some healing.
Exactly.
Some healing with your credit card.
Yeah.
What does the wish list look like?
So quality time, like I just said, definitely someone that like yearns for me, you know, really wants to hang out with me. But also, aside from that, definitely motivated, godly, a family man. Yeah. And wants to not only like, you know, spend time inside with me, but, you know, kind of show me off in the world on the outside. And yeah, that's definitely like, I would say like the main points of what I'm looking for.
From Texas or Italy? What do we want?
Both. All.
Anywhere.
From Texas but has Italian parents.
Yeah.
Has an
Exactly,
Italian
exactly.
last name.
I'm like, no, actually, can we add something to the list with an accent? I would love like a
Ooh.
British, Scottish man. Like, that'd be fun. Like, I'm obsessed with Outlander. So if we can just take, I don't know if you watch, but
I know
Jamie.
Outlander. Yeah.
It's cute.
It's not cute. It's not
Steamy.
cute, girl. But if we could just get him and like deliver it to him, that Santa, that's what I want for Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
All our
love
listeners
that.
out there, you heard her.
If you
You
have an
heard her.
accent,
You heard her.
come on over.
So is the divorce finalized?
No.
No?
That's
Still in
why,
the process?
yeah, the divorce is not finalized. It's still in the process. So that's why I also want to be as respectful as possible. I don't want to jump into anything serious, and I'm not going to go on the dating apps until it's finalized. I don't know. I just, for some reason, that makes me feel weird that I'm still like technically married, but dating.
Don't let your husband get in the way of finding your future husband.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
No, it says a lot about you. I think it says a lot about you. And it seems like you and Matt's have a decent relationship still. You're still, obviously, you're not wanting to throw one under the bus. I can
No,
tell. You're very
yeah.
careful about yourself, which is, so again, it says a lot about you.
Yeah. Well, and, you know, even though we had our lows, you know, when we do communicate, it's crazy because I'll get so sad. I get so sad. And it's not that I want to get back with him or anything. I just like worry for him. I like want to, as a Scorpio, I'm very loyal. I'm very protective. I just want to like protect him as much as possible. And so I just get sad whenever we talk. He'll text me and then I'll like text my friends and I'll be like, well, now there goes my day. Like, it's just, I just get so sad, like thinking, or when we do communicate, but we still like, we have a good friendly relationship. We'll ask like how each other is doing. I asked him if he got Halloween decorations, you know, like just kind of like, I want to take care of him, but it's not my job anymore.
No, I think it's really important to remember that.
Yes.
But it's also part of the healing.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to go cold turkey.
That's what it's going cold turkey. That's the hardest.
It's just the hardest in a breakup. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he was such a big part of your life, right? For so long.
Yes. Half of my
Each other's lives.
20s.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a breakup or someone that you've been with for such a long time?
This was my first like real breakup.
Really?
Yeah. So like, of course, you know, you have your high school, college breakups, whatever, but no, this is like my first like deeply in love with this person breakup. So it's been interesting.
Yeah.
It's been hard.
And only a year later.
Yeah.
So, I mean, looking back, is there anything that you would have done differently in your relationship?
Honestly, no, because if I did anything different, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I'm happy with where I am today. I'm happy with myself. I'm happy with my life. I love my life. So no, I wouldn't do honestly one thing different.
So we're saying we wouldn't DM Cole and be like, hey, what's up? Because there are a lot of comments. I'm just saying, people are like, are you guys
girl.
There are a lot of comments out there.
Yeah.
That's it. It's so interesting because obviously we come from like these shows, right, where people are like weirdly rooting sometimes for you to be with somebody else and stuff. And so how have you handled that? Like, how have you handled the public eye and people being like, hey, why don't you go?
I laugh at it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just like, no, because you know what's so funny is that we didn't have a relationship, period, Cole and I. And so like, I'm like, what are you guys, like, yes, we had, you know, the pool scene, whatever, but we didn't work in the pods for a reason. Like, I think we only spoke really for 3 days. And like,
stuff people don't know. That's
I don't know.
Yeah.
And so I don't even know who that person is. So when I see you should be with Cole or you should DM with Cole, I'm like, how about no?
Exactly.
Like, how about
if I should have, I would have done it. Because that's like the most intimate environment to get to know somebody. You're like, I just didn't like that man, period.
Period.
Could be a cool fucking guy, not my fucking guy.
Yeah. And I think, you know, because you're not going to see every single conversation, but I think that's what I tried to say in the pool was like, you're an attractive guy, but we didn't work in the pods for a reason, but you don't see me saying that. And so I think maybe if the audience did see that, maybe I wouldn't get bombarded with these comments, but it really doesn't bother me like at all. It's just like kind of humorous at this point where I'm like, it's only you guys knew that there was no relationship.
Right.
Like I couldn't even tell you one thing that we talked about. Honestly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now listeners know now.
Yeah.
Cole is not, doesn't get the
Putting
checkbox.
those rumors to rest.
Yeah.
So I mean, you've been taking care of yourself. I see you are just literally glowing. What's something that you can maybe share and say, this is something that's really helped me in this huge life transition? Maybe it's being alone, even though it's hard, but I liked that part.
I'm trying to, so I remember the first few weeks, rough. And I always would go on like TikTok or Instagram and I was on breakup, you know, FYPs, and they would just be like, you're not alone. And that's the one thing that I just like had to tell myself that, because I would drive around and I would be like, I wonder what it's like to not feel like your world is like crashing and burning and like, what's it like to just be able to have dinner and not, you know, I had to like force food in me because I was so sad. And so I just had to like keep telling myself that I'm not the only person in the world going through something or like going through a heartbreak. And I think I made like a video recently or something where I was like, am I alone? And all the comments, bombarded with comments being like, you are not alone in feeling this way. So just like really sitting with yourself and being like, it will be okay. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. Because I'd be like, when am I gonna feel okay again? And it just takes time. It takes, I mean, it's almost a year now and I still am like kind of sad. And it just takes a lot of time and spending time alone and sitting. But also I'm so grateful for the support system that I had. Yeah. My girlfriends, my family constantly calling me, checking in on me, making sure that I was okay, and would let me talk about the same thing over and over and over again. So sitting with yourself and being alone, but really also like, you know, surround yourself with your people as much as you can.
Your village.
Yeah, your village.
The ones that get you and want to see you.
Yeah.
Be you.
Because sometimes you can take your mind off of things for just 2 seconds, and then you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really brave of you to be going through this publicly and not afraid to open up about it.
Yeah.
Because I think, like you said, I always say, like, when you're at your lowest, like, more people can relate to that than when you're super happy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I know on TikTok recently you opened up about, not being where you thought you'd be at 30. And it seems like a lot of people, how are you feeling about that now? Like, do you feel
I mean,
better?
I don't love it still. Like, I wish I was still in my 20s. But no, I look around now and half, if not most of my friends are either pregnant, have their first kid, or on their second kid. And so I'm going through, not only am I going through a breakup, so I feel like I have to start at ground zero. And then I have to, get there. And I don't really know about my career. It's always like kind of all over the place. And I don't feel solid in life right now. Like, I love my life, but I don't feel solid. And I always thought that by the time I was 30, it would look so solid and clear. And right now I'm just kind of like a chaotic mess. And so it's an adjustment for a second to be like, no, this is what my life is right now. And that's okay. And everyone's life and paths are different from the other. It's not the same thing.
Amen.
And I'm so proud of you, firstly, for just taking such a big step, but also you kind of see me like kind of nodding and like, smiling a little bit, because anytime someone either loses their job or goes through such a life-altering thing, I genuinely get so excited for that person, because I just know the universe is just taking away all of what's not serving you. And anytime like you're about to level up in life or like meet the love of your life, like it tests you. It takes you down to ground zero. And then all of a sudden you're just like, I really did what was best for me. And I just see you going through such a transformative period. And I am genuinely so excited to see you fall into where you want to be and where you're doing the work. You're not just sitting there being like, oh, I wish I was different. But no, you're doing the work. So the best is yet to come.
I know. That's what I'm
Colleen.
telling myself. I'm like, don't worry, girl. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
No, it's good. You don't seem like you don't feel sorry for yourself. Like, it feels like you're like, okay, I can do this, which is awesome. And I think a lot of people can learn from that.
Yeah.
Is that what your divorce has taught you about yourself?
Yes. For sure. Like, not feeling sorry for myself. I don't want to be sad. I want to be happy. I want to be like confident in life and everything. So it's been a struggle, but I'm what is it? Where it's like, you should be so grateful that you're going through these kinds of things, because you're going through life. Like, you are alive. And
you're feeling it, right?
Yes, you're feeling it. Like, feel that heartbreak. How like lucky are you? Some people, some people can't feel that. And so it's definitely, my divorce has taught me to be resilient, to be strong. Don't just sit there and wallow, because sometimes I can be really low and I see that affecting my work. I see that affecting my mood, and I hate that. I don't want that. So I have to like push myself to another level that I didn't think that I could before. So really being like resilient and tough and not sitting and like crying and all that stuff. Because I don't want to be a sad sack.
Yeah.
I want to be a happy sack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's how we met you.
I know.
So full of life and optimistic.
Yes.
And so I think that, you're staying true to yourself and through the core of it all, and publicly, which is hard to do.
It's hard to do. But honestly, for us, I really don't think it's been that bad. And that's why I'm so glad that we waited to announce, because then once the public started to talk about it, whatever, you guys are nobodies. Like, you guys aren't, if it was negative, I appreciated the nice comments, but anything negative or people talking about it, I was like, whatever. Like, you guys, you're not in my life. You have no value to my life. So, and I'm glad that we were able to kind of go through this heartbreak and then bring it to the public.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you did mention you're friends with a lot of the cast from your season. Were they involved in this process at all? Did you let them know? Because I see you guys like go out, girls' nights, or did they learn with the rest of the world?
So mainly Alexa is who I'm close friends with. And so she knew pretty much everything. And so she was just like the most amazing person that, you know, if I was ever going through something, she'd be like, okay, let's go to lunch. So she was just, whether it was just me sitting there and crying, like she would sit there and be there for me. I hope I can do the same for her in this moment. But yeah, she definitely, and her, I become so close with her people as well. And so we would just sit there and they would hear, you know, me going through this heartbreak and just rally behind me.
And speaking of Alexa, we were so sad to hear that her and Brennan have decided to end their marriage. Have you spoken to her? Do you know how she's doing?
So she is now where I was at a year ago, and if not worse, because, you know, you have a kid and I can't, she is the strongest woman that I know, 100%. And so she is exactly where I was basically a year ago. And so all I can do is be there for her. And I saw her the other day, and, you know, just even if she just wants to sit there and be on her phone and, like, you know, go through everything, and I will just sit there and hold her hand. And I mean, I wish people knew like how amazing of a woman she is. And because she really is just like a great woman. She's so strong. She's so funny.
I love her.
She is
hilarious.
Oh my
so
God.
funny.
Yeah.
Even when she's going through this, she's making me laugh.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah,
you're a
she's strong.
queen.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
very
great.
strong.
And she's an amazing mother.
Oh, yeah.
I
Like
saw it firsthand.
Yeah.
an amazing mother. And her and Vienna like are just two, like, you know, best girlfriends.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. Yeah.
No, we wish her all the best.
Yes, we wish her all the best.
I love her. I love Vienna.
Yes.
And that's like so special that you guys have each other and have been through Love is Blind together.
Yes.
And just, it's a very, very special connection you two have. So
I don't love that like we're going through divorces, but like
right.
yeah.
but at least we have each other.
Exactly.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got each other. Yeah, you
Yeah.
got each other. When you look back at your story, and I like to say, I think your story is just beginning, because I think there's still a lot to be written, which I can't, like we said, I can't wait to watch. What would you want people to take away from your story, and what kind of advice would you have?
How strong I am. I wish, you know, I feel like people can sometimes look at me as like weak almost, or pick me, or shallow. I remember that was like a whole word that people would throw around. And I think there's so much more to me and my character than just like hee hee ha ha, because recently it's not been the case, and how much I've gone through and the struggles that I've gone through and pushed through. And I just think I would really want people to know how strong, and I'm an extremely loyal person, and I will, you know, I will do anything to protect you. If you're in my group, I will do absolutely anything, no matter what. And so I think just, you know, seeing me as more of a strong girl than just like this weak, like hee bubbly, kind of dumb girl. I really want them to know like how strong and smart I am.
Oh, they're listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was called toxic.
Okay.
And so I get it. But also, you were 24.
I was 24,
How old was
guys.
Matt? How old was Matt?
He is 32.
Okay, so a little
Yeah.
bit older than you.
A
When you
little,
first,
just
okay.
a little bit. Yeah.
24.
24.
I can't imagine, because you were young too.
I was 25.
I
Yeah.
was 29. So like, I
Okay.
can't imagine going on TV at your guys' age. I would have made a complete
getting
fool of
married.
myself.
Yeah.
I would have, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think. It's really crazy to
Yeah.
think.
And I just didn't, I feel like I didn't really know what I was looking for. I didn't really know what love meant at the time. I don't, you know, I would say I love you in the pods, but I'm like, did I? Like, I always kind of go back and question. Now, I was deeply in love with him, but I'm like, what does that really feel? And I feel like I was a little naive and just being like, oh, we're on the same page with everything. Like, it's going to work out. Like, I love him. And so, yeah, I was definitely naive and, you know, not dumb, but just like, woo, like,
Yeah.
I was 24.
Just like
Yeah.
rose-colored glasses.
Rose-colored
Baby.
glasses.
Like, this is going to work. Why wouldn't it work?
Why wouldn't it?
What could possibly go wrong? But I think, I mean, just as you said, you move through, you know, your divorce and your process still with that core belief.
Yeah.
And so
It's great.
props to you.
Thank you.
Because it's very easy to get bogged down.
For sure.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So is there anything, when you look back at your marriage, is there anything you miss about married life?
I miss having that language with someone. I miss, we out in public, we would talk normally and then you come back and not baby talk, but like just the way that we would communicate and speak with one another. I miss having a best friend right next to me 24/7 all the time. I miss having my friend. I miss having him or anyone just like being there. And now I'm by myself and I'm just like talking to myself all the time. And I definitely miss having a best friend, even when I'm going through, or especially when I'm going through a hard day, like calling him and being like, oh, or a good day, good news. When the Eagles are losing, like, calling him, be like, oh, I can't believe Jalen got sacked again. Like I miss just always having my best friend near me, ready to answer my phone calls and just to like talk to him.
Do you think you're the type of girly that can have a relationship that has no like romantic feelings with an ex? Do you think do you see him being a part of your life like forever, or just kind of marking a stamp and saying,
I don't
love you
think
later?
he'll be in my life forever. No, unfortunately. I don't think I could. Like I said, I get sad when he texts me. And so unfortunately, I think we'll always be good, but I don't see him like being a friend, like being in my life. Like maybe we'll communicate here and there, but if anything, it would be very much football and that's it. Yeah, but unfortunately, no, I don't think he'll be in my life.
So moving forward in a relationship that you're looking for or looking to, how do you know when they're gonna be the one again? What do you think?
I don't know. I really hope that it clicks again. Like I really hope that I have things that I'm looking out for now and I'm smarter and I know of what I want and I know of what I don't want and I know of what questions to ask. And when you're talking to me, I know of like what things to kind of pick up on and is this right for me? So I hope I have like insane chemistry, but I also am like, let's use our brain, Colleen. Let's not just use our heart. Yeah, let's use a little bit of our brain next time.
So because what you just described sounds vaguely familiar to Love is Blind in the Pods. Would you do anything like that again?
I would never say no to anything. I would always be open because, everything happens for a reason. And I'm always like very optimistic. You're never going to take away optimism from me. And so who knows I don't regret going on Love is Blind. I don't regret marrying Matt. I've learned so many lessons. I'm so grateful that he's been in my life and that I've been able to be in his and make our, presence. So who knows? I would always be open to something because you never know what lessons you'll learn or the people that you'll meet, the connections that you'll form. You never know.
It's very Colleen coded.
Thank you.
So, since being single, has anyone caught your eye? Do we have any fun romance, any tea to be spilled?
Honestly,
There
She's
is.
thinking, you guys.
Wait, there is.
I'm like, do you want to share? No, I'm going back from the past a little bit.
Diving back in?
I'm diving back in because, I'm not on the dating apps or anything. So I'm just looking around at like, some past connections. But nothing serious, honestly. Like I said, very like just fun. I just want to have like fun right now. So yeah.
Anyone in the dance world? Anything?
No, girl.
Okay.
I do not like.
That was a hard no.
No, I've never been in like the dancers. I'm much more like frat boy coded, Yeah, that's more of like, or finance bros, not frat boys.
Finance bros.
I
okay.
love a finance bro.
There's a lot of them in Dallas.
There's a lot in Dallas. There's going to be more. So yeah.
So you're not on the apps, but the DMs are always open. Have you had some DM slides? You got some blue check marks in the DMs?
No blue check marks, unfortunately.
disappointed.
Like, hello. No blue check marks, but definitely my DMs are fun.
Yeah, I bet.
They are good. They're like a good laugh to go through and like, interact. That's fun. But yeah, the DMs are flowing. Just no blue check marks. So guys, come on.
Listen up. Go and buy one. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
It's always nice to get one of these princes to come into your DMs and tell you just how beautiful,
Beautiful
you are. Yes.
stunning, and
It's like,
also, what's your social security number?
Yeah. But that's why I liked the Italians, because they were in love with me over there. They were like, oh, let me take you out on a date. And I'm like, okay.
Twist my arm.
Yeah. Twist my arm, why don't you? Like literally, I would say at least 4 waiters asked me to go on a date with them. And I was like, sure.
I love Italy.
Yeah, I love Italy.
Did you do it?
Not actually, but I would like always like, flirt back and be
Oh
like,
yeah, it's a good feeling.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was with my friends who were on their own honeymoon. We were like, let's go out. And so I went out and we were like it was like a dive bar, but make it Italian, like very, very fun. And there was bottle service and there was an actor.
Oh yes, here we go. This is the good stuff.
A blue check mark.
There was definitely a blue check mark. And we were just, we were kind of locking eyes, but I was like, oh, whatever. But so we were locking eyes. And then me and my girlfriend, we like navigated our way into like the bottle service area. And so now her husband like went over and he's like, she's single. Beelined
Oh.
So
over to me. We had a nice little night on a little yacht. So
How little was the yacht, or how big was the yacht?
it was a big yacht, girl.
Oh, so you recognized that? You knew who he was?
Yeah, I knew who it was. Yeah.
wow.
Did he know who you were?
I don't think so, but
That's even better.
Yeah, honestly, that's better. I was just gonna say.
yeah.
Isn't he just for you? Nah, we're
Yeah.
gonna have to get off
Do you
mic. We're
keep
gonna
in
have
touch?
to get some. Yeah.
No. I know, but that's okay. It
Yeah.
was just like a
It was
fun.
a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a
In
moment.
Capri.
Oh my god.
Gorge.
Well, you are. It's like a romance. novel.
Literally, I was
Yeah.
like, this is amazing. See, like then I'm fine about my divorce. Don't worry.
Best rebound ever.
Yeah, for real.
Literally.
That's awesome. That's
Okay, we're gonna talk about this later.
Yeah.
great. Yeah, for sure.
Well, in the spirit of shooting your shot is what this man did, and clearly it worked. Have you seen, when Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift and how they met is because he literally said that he wanted to date her
Yeah.
on his podcast. So with that in mind, we have put together a little bit of a segment called Shoot Your Shot,
Amazing.
Colleen. So if there is anybody that you think you could send a DM to, or I don't know, ask, hey, what's up?
And it could be reality world. It
I
could
know,
be
I'm like,
athlete. It
This
could be
is
whatever you
literally
want.
your time to shoot your shot.
Okay. I'm trying to think. What's his face? Freddie? Perfect match?
Oh.
Like, hello?
Okay, Freddie.
Okay.
Freddie?
That's
Fantastic.
great.
Accent? So cute. So sweet.
All the boxes.
Okay.
Oh my god, this is a moment. This
Yeah.
is a moment right now, you
Okay,
guys.
do we let this possibly play out on Perfect Match? I don't know if you're on there or anything. Or do we whip out our phone and send a DM?
Oh, do you want me to?
Yes. Yes.
I knew it.
Yes.
Somebody give me my phone.
Yes. Oh man.
You are fantastic.
But someone
is a
needs to
moment.
like tell me exactly what to say.
We'll help. We'll try and
Okay.
help out.
What would
Because,
a
like,
guy
yeah.
want from a DM from this beautiful
I
woman?
know.
Hold on. Do you have your...
Watch, he doesn't respond. How embarrassing.
No,
No,
he'll
he's gotta
respond. He'll
He's gotta
respond.
respond.
Say it.
Colleen is pulling up the DM.
Hi.
Colleen's pulling up Freddie right now. Hi.
Or,
How are you doing?
2 eyes or 3 eyes? Okay.
Five eyes. No. Okay. What do we think here?
Hi.
What would a
create-
guy? What
Yeah,
would
like,
have been
what-
in your DMs that you've responded to?
I
Pre me.
so
Yeah. Oh, that will start a
yeah.
later.
No, I always would respond to something funny. Like that's how I am anyway. Like if somebody was
gosh.
giving me something funny or like
No, if
out
we
of the
don't.
blue, like something crazy,
This is me.
shooting my shot. This is me shooting my shot.
This is
And
me
then we can ask a question.
Officially.
Period. And then,
shooting my shot.
do you want to share fish and chips?
There it is. The food. Would love
The
to share.
food. Okay, sent. Hi. This is me officially shooting my shot. 3 eyes. Should we share some fish and chips?
Oh my god, that's great.
I'm
Yes.
literally obsessed with you.
This is great.
Yes.
2 question marks.
No emojis.
No emojis.
No, just
No.
keep it
Okay,
Oh my gosh.
sent.
That was a moment. This
gorgeous.
Is, we're gonna have to
Wait, I don't
remember
follow
this.
him now.
Wow.
Should I follow him? Okay.
Follow
Follow.
him.
Oh, he's so hot.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Colleen.
Woo!
This was
That
fun.
was great.
That was amazing.
Well, when he does respond.
Yeah, when he answers.
We'll see.
Let us know when you have to come back on here as a couple.
Yes.
Would
love.
Yeah, one of you as a
Manifesting.
couple. There you go.
Manifesting.
That hot British tea, baby's going to be spilled all over here.
Yes, please.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Why am I smiling so much?
I know. Oh my God, I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Okay, cute. If not, she'll have another nice yacht night.
Exactly.
Anyway, so what is next for you, Colleen? What are we working on? Are we still a ballerina?
We are not a ballerina anymore. I don't do that, but I still do it to keep in shape. I stand by it's the best workout. I'm not going to get my dancer legs from just going to the gym. Like I will still dance, but I'm not doing it professionally. It was just a lot of work for I am getting a little bit older, and I was just getting sore, and I wasn't able to do like what I want to do now with like content creation, influencing. So I'm really proud of my career, but not anymore.
And what are we doing now?
Just trying to live my best life.
Yeah.
Still, in the content creation world, social media. I did start working for, it's called Lane Boots, if everyone wants to check it out. It's a cowboy boot company that I am doing like their social media work for. So really diving into like my career for sure. I really want to travel still. I want to go to like Croatia this year, south of France, London, to meet Freddie.
Yeah, exactly. I love it.
To meet
She
Freddie's
is
family.
just ready to go.
But yeah, definitely just travel, spend a lot of time with my family, my friends, really like discover myself, I guess, again. So yeah.
Good. Well, I got to say, Colleen, I know you might have been a little nervous coming to this podcast, but you handled yourself incredibly well.
I hope
Like
so.
you articulated yourself. You didn't take the low road. You didn't, I think it was incredible. Honestly, it was a great podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so
Yeah.
much for having me and talking with me. I had so much fun.
Oh,
I'm
good.
so glad.
I'm so
We love
happy.
that
Yeah,
you
I was
did
nervous,
that.
but like, whew, we're good.
No,
Yeah.
you did
And
so
now we
good.
have a potential, something that came out of this. We actually walked
Connection.
away with a little bit of a connection, but
Yeah.
I just love how we were just able to really hear you
Mm-hmm.
and get to know this side of you and what you wish for. I hope so too. And I really did feel like we connected, and
Yes.
I am so happy for you.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming here, Colleen.
Yeah, and then for our listeners, if they want to follow your the story that's still to be written, where can they find you?
Instagram, Jellybean Colleen. You can always find me, Jellybean Colleen. TikTok, Colleen Reed 7. It's a fun time over on TikTok. I have a great time over there. Yeah.
Good. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for listening. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you next Wednesday on What's the Reality?
What's the reality? What's the reality?